Cloveroom. Today I'm going to be doing the beauty resolutions tag where I talk about some of my goals and thoughts about beauty and such going into 2023. If you are new here, which if you were watching this, you were probably new here because I only have 5 subscribers, but welcome. My name is Cam. I am a non-binary and queer lover of makeup. I'm really hoping that in the new year, this channel will grow into a place where I can come on and talk about my own beauty consumption, what's going on in the beauty industry and the online beauty space, and all that with, again, a critical eye sort of toward consumerism, but also very much getting specific life joys out of buying and using cosmetic products. And it will all be very queer, very gay. So if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you join I was about to give myself a fandom name. I don't have a fandom name. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But let's get on with the beauty resolutions tag. The beauty resolutions tag was started in 2020 by Mel Thompson, and I actually saw Queer Bones, or I think their name is Colin. Queer Bones did the beauty resolutions tag on their channel, and I thought it would be a good video for me to film since this is one of my very first videos and it's the first one of the new year, which I'm hoping will bring consistent uploads, but we'll get into that as part of the tag, as part of the questions. But I really enjoyed Queer Bones' video. I like their channel a lot. They talk a lot about indie and colorful eyeshadow, and before watching them I wasn't even aware of all the indie brands that they use, so they're just a great channel to watch. So the tag is 10 questions. First question. Oh, and I am getting the pinwheel of death on my MacBook. Alright, we're good. And also I'm reading the questions from my MacBook, so if I'm looking over here, that's why. Something you do regularly in your makeup routine that you will try to stop. I didn't really know. There's nothing problematic about my makeup routine that I know of or the techniques I use. I came up with a couple of things. Overusing setting mist and spray. I mean, it says try to stop, so I don't know if I'm really going to stop this, but I use a lot of, right now I'm using the Rare Beauty 4-in-1 mist, and I just got this and it's already quite a dent. I like to prime and after my makeup application use the spray, and I don't really use it, especially that one. It's really just more of getting everything to be more skin-like and setting powders down and things like that. So it's not a longevity thing for me, it's an aesthetic thing. I overuse them a lot and I go through setting sprays at an alarming clip, so I could probably be better about just instead of taking a 1-minute bath in whatever hydrating setting spray I have at the moment. And then the other one is brows, because I think I might bleach my brows. And I also hate doing my brows, and I don't say I'm bad at it, I don't know, I get no joy out of doing my brows. I would love to never do my brows again. If somebody an angel or a demon came down or up and was you don't have to do something ever again in your makeup application. I enjoy putting on makeup so much, I'd be I don't know, but then I'd be oh, for sure brows. If I could just wake up with brows that were already filled in, that would be top notch. All right, the second question is a brand you will try for the first time. And I have a lot of brands I want to try this year because I'm getting more into eyeshadow and figuring out what I like, what colors I like, and I want to experiment with more eyeshadow and colors and texture, all that. And one of the things, and I have 5 brands that I'll tell you, maybe even 6, but one of the things I really want to not do as much this year is I really want to make sure I'm going out of the Sephora Ulta industrial complex. I really want to try Kaleidos finally for the first time. Their eyeshadows look so good. They have an eyeshadow palette that is, the name escapes me, but it has just the most beautiful neon and colorful tones in it. The Escape Pod palette. I've also been getting into more, I'm wearing a lavender highlight today, getting much more into really loud and colorful powder highlights for both my cheeks and actually I have it on my eyes too. And they're highlights. Like the packaging looks so fun. Like it's like this, it looks like to be a soft kind of matte texture. And I've heard those highlights are great. I've seen them on all over YouTube. And then the lip plays randomly. Like I feel like people really, really love those, the liquid lipstick formula from Kaleidos. So really want to try Kaleidos. I really want to try some from LH Cosmetics, Linda Hallberg's brand. They just seem to have some really, they have this, like their quad, the Shimmer Saga quad. And the desk. It looks incredible. It looks so, so pretty. It's quite expensive, but all the shades look really special and fun. So really want to try some LH Cosmetics. Really want to try some Ritual de Fille. I think that's how you say it, Ritual de Fille. I don't think that was any better. I watch a lot of Haute Mess Tom, and they really love Ritual de Fille. Or they have a lot of Ritual de Fille. Try the eye suits, even though I feel like people don't love the eye suits. They look like they're just too, like I need to try one. And I almost bought, they released a special, I think maybe a little bit more glittery eye suit formula for the holidays. And I almost bought one, but they're so expensive. They're like $40 for this like little vial of like a cream eyeshadow. They had one of those holiday eye suits that was like Soots? Probably Soots. One of the holiday eye sets. Shifted from like a forest green to like a lavender like pearl. I like almost bought it, but it's just too expensive, especially right then. So they also have like really beautiful looking highlighters. They beta released a sort of Hollywood Flawless Filter-esque, at least I think that's like, that's the vibe I get, kind of like a multi-use liquid highlighter. Their lightest shade is like iridescent and lavender, and I'm really, really into lavender right now. So that looks gorgeous. There's just so much from Ritual de Fille I really, really want to try. So that's definitely on my list. And they do sell it at Ulta. I would probably buy it directly from Ritual de Fille, but... Oh, and then the Thorn Oil. I've been really into face oils more in my skincare routine, but I think that would be a cool primer to try. I really, really want to try a lot from Ritual de Fille this year. Zemea, I don't know how much longer the industrial palette's going to be around. It just looks so beautiful and grungy and textured, and you know, the BDSM packaging. Is it BDSM or is it leather? Or both. Kinky packaging. Yeah, I would really, really love to try the industrial palette. And what I was trying to say earlier is I hope it will be around long enough, because I know initially, or I think it is, like, it's not something that's going to be around forever, but I hope it's around long enough that I can afford it eventually, because right now I can't afford it, or I'd buy it because, well, and I'm also on a no-buy for the month of January. But I really, really, really want to buy that palette. It looks phenomenal. But also, I just want to keep an eye out for her future releases. I think she's doing like seasonal releases. The Wildstar collection looks nice, but not quite my bag like the Industrial collection is. But definitely just keeping an eye out on Isamaya for the rest of the year. The last few are like more luxury, although Isamaya is quite expensive. Byredo, Victoria Beckham, and Kier Weiss are all like luxe brands that again are not sold at Sephora that I would really, really love to try. The Byredo eyeshadow quints look incredible. They had this limited edition one for the holidays that was like, again, a lavender purple kind of colorway. And I was so tempted by that, but again, I could not afford it, so I did not buy it. Victoria Beckham, her stuff, like I really want to try her eyeliner. And then Kier Weiss, I really want to try Inner Glow. This one's pretty specific, but I would love to try Inner Glow from Kier Weiss because I've seen Haute Mess Tom use it, and it just looks so mucky and interesting and neutral. And then also I've ever since the dawn of beauty YouTube, or my dawn of beauty YouTube when I started watching, I've always wanted one of those metal Kier Weiss compacts that has the cream cheek product in it, where it slides open and you can hear it slide, and it's weighted and metally. And then I do have a palette from this brand, but I really want to try more lethal. I have the Teresa is Lethal palette, and I really like that palette. It's just not, like, it's a really fun palette for me to dip into, but it's not like quite my color story. Again, I really like using it, but I love the formulas in there so much, specifically the mattes. The mattes are really, really lovely. So I really want to create my own custom Lethal palette. And also just try more from Lethal. I would love to try their gel liners. They have powder highlights that look really fun. So I want to try a lot more from Lethal this year. So I put that as like an honorable mention because technically I've tried them, but I want more. Okay, third question. We spent a lot of time on the second question, but I'm really excited about trying more indie brands. Brand you will let go in 2022. I am with Queer Bones on this one. They talked about this in their video. ColourPop. Yeah, no longer. I don't even remember. I mean, I definitely had a ColourPop purchase or two in the last year, but I'm done. I mean, the turf witch of it all, and I will say I have fond memories. I have fond memories with ColourPop. They were the first brand I really bought a lot from because it's what I could afford, and it was a great way to test out what I liked, what I didn't like, because it is so affordable. I learned how to do eyeshadows with ColourPop eyeshadows. Like I wouldn't be able to, well, I mean, I guess I would have found something else, but I really do like, for the price, I do like the ColourPop formula in most cases. It's not as consistent as it used to be, I will say. I mean, and this has been a problem for a while, but the clip that they release things at is just annoying. It's so redundant. I think the quality has really slipped. Like you used to be able to be like, oh, it's ColourPop, so you know the mattes are going to be solid at the very least. And I feel like in their latest releases, like sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not. And there's just like this icky feeling I get when I purchase from ColourPop. And people have, you know, I'm not the first person to say this, but you think like, oh, it's affordable. But then, you know, you only want a palette and maybe that's $18. And that's not hitting the, I think, $35 shipping threshold. So then you're like, oh, well, I'll just buy a few other things. And then inevitably when I would do that, my shipping or my total would skyrocket up to like $50, $60. And it'd feel good because it'd be like, I'm getting 30 things. That's probably a little much, but I'm getting what feels like 30 things for like $60. That's $2 a thing. This is the best thing I've ever done. But then it gets to your house and it's like, okay, well, I did it. I bought the ColourPop. But it's so much to absorb into your collection, and so many times on those orders, it's like at the end of the day, I never use anything except for maybe the one thing I originally ordered for. And you know, that's not to say like the one thing isn't worth buying. I wouldn't buy from ColourPop personally, and I will not buy from ColourPop personally anymore, but that's just something. And also with that order, it's like, okay, well, yes, everything was cheap in that order, but I just spent $50 or $60, which would have been maybe one or maybe two things at Sephora, but things that I would value and treasure and that I actually want. So, no more ColourPop for me. Will not miss the pop of color. Popping in to say I was chuckling here and I didn't feel like getting into it in the video. If you are a Real Housewives of New York City fan, I am quite the fan. Pop of Color was a nail brand started by Kristen Takeman, and there's drama because Bethany Frankel, now of beauty, TikTok, and being a monster fame, made fun of her because she said it was too close to ColourPop, and now Pop of Color is defunct. So I guess Bethany was sort of right, but that's what I was laughing at. Okay, bye. Number 4. What makeup technique would you like to learn or try once? I have never ventured into the valley of false lashes, of falsies. I think I got a pair through BoxyCharm once when I was subscribed to BoxyCharm for like 2 months. I just gave them to my friend who does wear falsies. I have very sensitive eyes and applying mascara is like annoying enough for me. So like to think of like the glue, and I don't know, lashes aren't important to me. Like I don't really care about lashes. I just don't. And I don't usually like the way like, I don't want to say I don't like the way falsies look, because I think they do look good on people, but I just think for my makeup style and what I like, I would not love a falsie. But I would, you know, like I think it'd be fun maybe in like a future video to like try falsies for the first time. And then I also want to do, I put on here, I would love to try more drag makeup. Falsies is the main one because that's definitely outside of my comfort zone, but something I feel like I should try at least once. And a lot of people love drugstore lashes, so I could get, you know, just like a cheap wispy pair and try it out. Falsies, drag, and then I also put on here, I would love to do more blush draping looks and learn how to blush drape more effectively. But also like to do more graphic eye looks. So there you go. Graphic eye looks for me are challenging though, just because, I mean, I feel like this is most people, but my eyes are just like very different. So to make things even when I'm doing like precision work is really hard because I'm making things even on uneven surfaces. It's just a lot to figure out and it stresses me out, quite frankly. A product that you will leave in 2022. Oh yeah. We're leaving 2022 and we're in 2023. Okay. Liquid liner. I'm bad at it. It stresses me out. Again, I just mentioned this, but my eyes are uneven, so applying liquid liner just accentuates that and makes it really hard. I've almost cried, if not actually cried, during, maybe before and perhaps after putting liquid liner on. And even when I do it well, and I'm like, okay, we did it, we did wings, it always looks so bad on me. And it's weird because like I want to be a liquid liner girl so bad. Like there's nothing I love more than a gal, they, who wears liquid liner every day, cat eye, sharpen enough to kill a man. People who do that, and it's like rain, shine, big makeup day, low makeup day. They got a cat eye every day. You are what keeps our I was about to say great countries. You are what keeps this country going and this world going. If you are outside of the U.S., I love on other people. I love a liquid liner wing, but like on me, it always looks bad. It looks so bad. So I'm just giving it up. I don't need, because I'm always like, well, maybe I'm just not using the right liquid liner. But I've tried so many. I always think it ruins my eye looks personally. It's so sad because I want to be that. I want to be that girly so much, but at least in 2023, I'm not going to be that girly, and I am accepting that. Also, once a liquid liner exploded in my eye. It was the next one that a lot of people like. Exploded in my eye. And it was literally from like a horror movie. Like all of a sudden, my eyeball turned black. I should have stopped then. I should have been like, liquid liner is not the journey for me. I was like, oh, I just think I got some in my eye, and I'm seeing like the black spread, and it was truly horror film. And I watched it in the mirror happen. It's just like my eye was opaque black, and I was like, maybe it's the wrong liquid liner. And it's like, no, I just don't think liquid liner is for me. A sort of honorable mention in this category is liquid foundation. I am finding for my all over base, I prefer either a liquid concealer or a cream foundation. Liquid foundation, I have a couple, and I think I might try to use them up this year, but I'm really, I'm not going to purchase, I hope I don't purchase any complexion this year. I really want to use up a lot of stuff. At least for the first few months of the year, I want to focus on using up some products. Or I will say, I really like a liquid skin tint. So like a skin tint or tinted moisturizer, that I can get on with, but like a medium and up liquid foundation, I just don't think it's my thing. I never use them. I always want to use a concealer, a skin tint, a cream product like the Salt New York Sneaky Balm. I always want to use those instead. So I think I'm good on the liquid foundation too. A product I will give a second chance to. I'm leaving liquid eyeliners in the past. I guess that should be over here. I'm leaving liquid liners in the past. I want to give, and I mentioned this earlier with Lethal, but I really want to try gel liners. The best experiences I've had making a wing are when I just use an angled brush and some eyeshadow. So I really want to try using like a potted gel liner. Eventually I would really love to try my hand at gel liner. And then also pencil eyeliners. I have very sensitive eyes, so I think I'm going to try, and a lot of pencil eyeliners really irritate my eyes. Like I have some from NYX and like Sephora and Glossier, and all of those irritate the crap out of my eyes when I use them, and I'm really bad at using eyeliner. Eyeliner is it's really just not my thing. But I really want to get into using maybe like softer formulas that are quote unquote clean. But I have had luck with my sensitive eyes using quote unquote brands that self-identify as clean, their mascaras versus other mascaras. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try that, which is why I really want to try the Victoria Beckham liners, because she is a self-proclaimed clean brand. A lot of people love those eyeliners. A resolution for my YouTube channel. I wrote here, post at all, LMAO. I started this YouTube channel last year, posted 2 times very sporadically. Always had every intention of starting again, but it's hard for me for several reasons. One, I don't want to say like too much about this, but I am I just have a lot of struggles getting work done, and I'm trying to seek out professional guidance on that. So that's all I'll say about that. So it's hard in that way. And then it's also hard because I just don't have the technology or the money to spend on the technology to have like a real reliable workflow. I'm shooting on my phone, which is very old and not incredibly high quality, unfortunately. My MacBook is really old. And the frustrating thing is I am actually not advanced at all, but I can like use Premiere Pro and editing software and edit videos pretty proficiently. That isn't a problem for me. I'm also a graphic designer by trade, so designing the branding, all of the actual creative things that go into a YouTube channel, I feel confident in my abilities to do. I just, in my personal life, don't have the infrastructure or the funds to build the infrastructure in order to do so. But I'm hoping this year some of that will change and I will be able to upload consistently because I always daydream about having a YouTube channel, and it'd be great instead of daydreaming about having a YouTube channel is if I just actually did it, since it's a very attainable thing. So yeah, I just want to post consistently, or at least consistently. Yeah, I want to post consistently. That's the goal. On to number 8. Do you have any skincare resolutions? No, I'm not a huge skincare. Like, I do skincare twice a day. I find it's obviously very important for makeup application, but like, I love makeup. I love beauty. I love buying and interacting with beauty products. Skincare is more utilitarian for me. Like, I used to overbuy on both makeup and skincare, but really quickly I was just like, oh, the skincare is just sitting there because I do the same, 5 steps every day. So I kind of kicked that. I'm on just like a 1-for-1. When I use some skincare up, I just buy the thing I need instead of hoarding backups or anything like that. The only thing I put is just to continue not to hoard or overbuy, which I pretty much haven't done in quite a while. So with skincare at least. Number 9, a YouTube beauty challenge you will partake in. I guess Vlogmas? I'm not promising that I'll do Vlogmas. I've always thought that Vlogmas looked really fun. I know it's like actually like a lot of work. I've thought about doing a project pan. I've already used up, actually in 2023, I've used up my Salt New York Sneaky Balm and my Glossier Skin Tint. I mean, really that was more progress made in 2022. But use both of those up, and I have a lot of products that I am like kind of targeting and close to using up. So I might do like a project pan. I'll be completely honest, I enjoy watching Project Pan content a lot. The executive functioning that Project Panners have, or appear to have, is not a skill that I currently have. So if I do a project plan, it will be very loose, and it'll just be like, here's like 8 products that I hope I use up by the end of the year, and if I use them up, I'll trade one out. So I guess I could just do project pan. I might research it more and just do like a very, very chill project pan. Last question, number 10. Beauty habit you need to stop this year. I have quite a few things. Yeah. Overspending. I'm on no buy for the month of January. I only purchased a couple things in December. I like basically did a low buy in December, like an extreme low buy. I really didn't. Like, I only made like one Phytosurgeon's order that's not gotten in yet, which is always fun. Like when you have an order come in during a no buy, because it's like, past me. You probably shouldn't have, but thanks. Another beauty habit I really want to try to stop is spending on all categories equally. And what I mean by that is the way we use, or at least I, and I think most people use beauty products isn't created equal across categories. Since I'm not planning this channel to be super review based, I don't want to do that many reviews, and I don't want it to just be new. I don't need a large makeup collection in a lot of senses, so I want to work through a lot of the complexion products I have this year, because I don't have a million, but I just have more than I need, and it's kind of overwhelming, and it makes me feel guilty that I can't give everything the use it deserves to have. I want to be more targeted when I do bring things in, that they're things like eyeshadow palettes or liners, or just products I'm like, I do have holes in my collection and I want to reach for something that I don't currently have. What it boils down to is that I just need to consider my collection and what, if I bring it in, will add to it and what will just stress me out. In the past, when I would do a big beauty haul, it was just like bringing in too many things. Okay, I just bought like 6 things and I don't really have space to store them. Now I have to put down things that I really had been using quite a lot. So I just want to really think through everything I'm bringing in and be, and ask myself, like, if I am bringing in this medium coverage concealer, do I have space in my collection for that? Or do I already have 2 medium coverage concealers that I really like and that I'm getting good use out of, that I should maybe use up one of them before buying another one? Because I've done that time and time again where I buy the new, it's not even always the newest thing, but I just buy something that's very new and shiny to me and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. But then I'm kind of bummed, even if I do like it, I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad that I like it. But now this other thing that I also love is not getting any use and it's just going to sit there for months while I play with the new thing. And I also feel like part of this, I'm from the generation where, I grew up with Toy Story and I always have I feel like Toy Story really affected my philosophy on inanimate objects because you never really know if they're inanimate. I don't want like a foundation, in the middle of the night, when all my makeup's talking to each other because I'm asleep. I don't want it to be like, Cameron used to use me all the time and now they haven't touched me in months because of you. And they yell at the other foundation that I brought in. Anyway, all of that, I just really want to have more careful considerations of what adds value and what ultimately bogs down and clutters my collection. And hopefully I don't have anything in my collection that is actually mad at me, because I swear I'm always like, maybe this makeup comes alive and talks shit about me. I don't know. And then also another beauty habit I want to stop this year is having my beauty buying correlate with my mental health. I feel like I can look back the past few years and see like a big order that I made from like a Sephora, Ulta or whatnot, or brand website. And I'm like, yes, that depression hole. I mean, like a lot of people, I buy when I'm sad, when I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling really hopeless. And they're never practical buys. It's all just meaningless stuff that I just want to cover up my feelings of inadequacy or deep, deep sadness. And it's just not fun. And then like, when I'm out of the depressive hole, I'm like, look what you did while you were so sad. You added things and spent money you really didn't even have because you were incredibly apathetic, feeling super sad and wanted a Band-Aid to put over it. So, I want to be gentle with myself. I'm going to have depressive holes this year because I have depression. I just really want to be at least more aware of when I'm scrolling through Sephora at 2 a.m. when I can't sleep. I've been binge watching beauty YouTube and I'm feeling really sad and really anxious. I just want to be more aware of why I'm on the Sephora app adding 10 things to my cart when I don't have the money for one. So I'm going to be better about that this year. I'm going to be better about that. Then the last beauty habit, I just want to be better about resisting sales. I had a really pretty good end of 2022 where I resisted all of the Black Friday sales except for one, and I actually used that sale to buy a friend a gift. Sales are not great for me for a number of reasons. One is I buy more than I need, but also a lot of times I'll buy stuff that I didn't even want at all, but I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a good deal. For example, Melt Cosmetics just had a 40% off sale, and it might still be going on their like brand website. And I mean, Melt has a lot of beautiful things. I've always been tempted by the Melt palettes because they look really grungy and I've heard good things about their mattes, etc., etc. They have so many palettes to choose from. Those like thin, long rectangle ones, I've always wanted one because it looks so satisfying to hold. I don't know. But I was like, oh my gosh, Melt's having a 40% off sale. This is like, what a deal. And they were doing free shipping, no minimum. And I was really proud of myself because I was like, you don't actually want any of this. You didn't even want this at full price, quite frankly. And you don't even really want it on sale. You just feel like you need to take advantage of something, when really the way I'm going and did end up saving the most money is not buying anything at all. So just want to continue that momentum of not partaking. Like, I mean, if something I've wanted for a while and it's in my budget is on sale, fabulous. But I don't want to actively buy things that I wasn't even considering buying because of sales for the most part. The bad side of the coin to the end of 2022 for me was the holiday savings event at Sephora. That correlated with the mental health episode, and I bought a ridiculous amount of stuff that, I'm kind of ashamed of, to be frank. Sephora sale specifically, I want to do a video around the time of Sephora sale about my history with Sephora sales and how they are just ripe for financial and personal disasters for me. And that is the Beauty Resolutions tag. Again, you should go watch Queer Bones' video if you haven't yet. I really enjoyed seeing what they said their beauty resolutions were this year. And if you did enjoy this video, again, I would really, really love it if you could subscribe. I am a micro channel right now. And I'm really hoping and wanting to post consistently this year on my YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this and would like to see more content from me, please subscribe, like this video. Would love if you commented below, wanted to introduce yourself. I am also on Instagram at @clove_room if you are so inclined. I also have a TikTok at cloveroom. I don't really post on TikTok that much. That might change if I try to do more reels and things, but I'm not a big TikTok person, to be honest. The place where I post the most is Instagram. That is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.